Hey, dudes and dudettes, Mr. Theorist here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat About. As you know, this is the series where I have chosen movies. At the moment, I'm currently doing the Saw saga, and I am talking through the plot, telling you the goods and the bads, and a review, and then a personal rating system, because I love movies. And the particular reason I'm doing the Saws, as you guys know if you've already been watching the previous videos, is Saw 8 is coming out, called Jigsaw, and I felt like doing all the other 7 films to kind of, if you haven't seen them, get caught up if you're going to go watch Jigsaw, or if you just want to hear my view on the saga itself. So this time, we are doing Saw 5. Let's get on with it. So, as I said, I do the plot, and the plot of 5, I'll start off with saying it's a bit of a down for the plot of Saw 5, because you kind of have to watch the other 4, especially 4. You don't necessarily have to watch 1 through 3, just have a general gist of what the Saw saga is about, but you definitely have to watch 4, because 5 basically throws you in from the minute 3 ended with the, oh my god, Hoffman is the new apprentice! And Strahm being a main character who we only really learnt about him and his journey in the previous film. So as I say, it's... Anyway, we'll do the plot first and then I'll give you the ups and downs. So the film opens up pretty much exactly where the previous one ended. But before we have that, we have a trap where a guy is tied, well not tied, he's chained down to a slab of concrete. And he's told by Saw, stick your hands into these crushing mechanisms either side of you, or this pendulum will slice you in half. And the guy at first doesn't do it, but he manages to get both hands crushed, but for some reason he's not let out. So, oh. Okay, so we've got another Amanda trap, but Amanda's dead. And we flash forward, or we flash to another area, and we see Strahm... his scene from the previous movie where he shoots down Jeff and he is locked in the room with Amanda, Jeff and Saw's corpses. He manages to find a secret tunnel inside that room, and there is a tape from Jigsaw saying, stay exactly where you are. This room can either be your sanctuary or it could be your grave. He tells Saw to sod off. Saw is dead, but okay mate. And decides to go down this corridor anyway. Unfortunately, he is jumped and stuck into a trap where his head is trapped in a box and water is filling the box slowly and he's going to drown and he has no way out. There's no tape to tell him how to do it and it pretty much feels like this is a death sentence. And Saul warned him, like, if you continue, you're going to die. But he manages to find a pen in his pocket and gives himself a tryptocotton. I can't remember the medical term. But he stabs the pen into his throat, undoes it, and breathes through that. Ouch. And manages to survive. Much to, as you see by a look on Hoffman's face, Hoffman's a bit annoyed at this. It very much feels like a setup that all the policemen went to die in the films 1 through 4. Then in this, Strahm was meant to follow him. He was going to trap Strahm in the, in the head trap. He was going to drown, and Hoffman was going to be the only survivor left. No one else, just him. He was going to be a hero. Everything was going to be okay. No, Strahm survived. And the rest of the film is pretty much Strahm has figured out that it is Hoffman through finding out that the guy strapped down the pendulum was Hoffman's sister's boyfriend. And... he killed Hoffman's sister. So Hoffman staged the scene like a Saw trap and killed the guy. Which also leads into how Hoffman met Saw, where we have the most incredible dialogue in the saga. I know I say I like 1, and I really like 3, and I really like 4, but 5, as much as I'm a bit about certain elements of it, oh my god, there are 2 things that are amazing things that Saw does well, which is there's a great transition. Strahm is in the room trying to deduct how the guy who Hoffman killed, how he died and why he died. and there's a pendulum that swings. They do like a transition shot of Strom is standing there, pendulum swings, he sees the corpse in front of him, pendulum swings back, and it's Strom again. Oh, it's beautiful. Just to watch that one little thing is like, mwah, it's art. But the scene that I'm talking about that is just, is Jigsaw has kidnapped Hoffman. This is before Hoffman is his apprentice, and he has a dialogue of how he hates the fact Hoffman copied him and tried to frame him. He feels that his whole trap was inferior, and that Hoffman should not murder because he hates murderers, and that human life should be given a chance. That through his version of rehabilitation, people can change. Not by murdering them, but by giving them a chance. And this is Hoffman's movie about realising what it is that Saw does. And by the end of the film, you find out pretty much that Hoffman has taken on this idea. He has done what Amanda couldn't. He has understood the way Jigsaw thinks, and he's going to continue the legacy. But as the movie goes along, you follow Hoffman as he's clearly setting up Strom as the new apprentice, because there are rumours that there is a new apprentice, while at the same time Strom is trying to track him down. But he's using the fact Strom is tracking him down to manipulate things. There is another new policeman character who is actually part of Strom's unit, which is the FBI. It's the FBI, not the same police force that Hoffman's part of. And he basically tells him, look, Strom had an idea that there was a second apprentice. And he's like, oh, did he? Yeah, I wanted to talk to Strom, but I can't seem to get hold of him. And the guy's like, okay. And then he manages to get Strom to follow him to a location, but he gets hold of Strom's phone, leaves it at the location where the latest trap is happening, and the new cop character essentially tracks the phone down and goes, oh, so Strom's a new apprentice. Ha. Strom tracks down Hoffman, and he gets a tape, which is the only tape that actually has Hoffman's voice on it. And Hoffman says to him, look, the glass cage in front of you, step in it. You'll be in a bit of pain, but trust me, you'll live. And Strom doesn't. And Hoffman and him have a bit of a tussle. He throws Hoffman in the trap, shuts the door, and he's like, ha, I got you. Got you. And Hoffman just goes, no, look at the tape, mate. Look at the tape. And Strom replays the tape through, and he goes, but if you don't trust me, then this room will be your tomb, and my legacy will become yours. So essentially, Strom has killed himself, and the room begins to fold in on itself, and Strom is crushed while Hoffman's box thing lowers into the ground so it is safe. And that's the main story. Now, the trap of the movie is one that kind of annoyed some of the fans out there. I wasn't bothered by it. I didn't even realise fans were bothered by this until I listened to the commentary in Saw 6, where there are 5 people, because Saw 5, and at the beginning of their trap, Saw says to him, your instincts tell you to do one thing, I implore you to do the opposite. And each room goes through, one person dies, because there is, in the first room, there's not enough time for all 5 of them to reach for a key to unlock their shackles, so one of them gets their head decapitated. Second room, there is only 3 containers, so they can be shielded by the blast, so one of them gets blown up. The next room goes along, there's a bathtub, and they have to connect these electrical wires to the bathtub, but the wires are not long enough, so they have to make a bridge for all of them to be connected, all 5 of them, and it's 5. So they kill one of them and jab all the electric wires in, and that creates the bridge, and they're able to get to the next door. And then the last room, they find out that there's a container that needs to be filled with blood, and there's a box with saws, and they have to stick their hand through it. But there's 5. And this is when they figure it out. Saw said to them, your instincts tell you to do one thing, I implore you to do the opposite. Your instincts will tell you that it is a survival of the fittest, and one of you must die per room. You weren't meant to. They found out that the keys from room 1 key was the same as the rest, so they could use 1 key and everyone could have been unlocked. Second room, the containers to hide from the blast were big enough for more than 1 person. the room after the bathtub, they all would have stuck their foot into the bathtub with a bit of water, with the water, held onto a electric cable each, and it would have given them a slight shock, and that would have opened the door. In the last room, the container had to be filled with blood, 10 pints of blood. They only had to give 2 pints each instead of the last 2 people who have to basically die to fill the containers. Sorry guys, but they managed to survive. And this is an important thing, that people are surviving the saw traps, which you don't really notice that people are doing this until we get to the final film. And it's one good thing I like about the final film, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Yes, and we get 2 of the 5 survive, with their hands sliced down the middle, and they're like, bleh. It's like, nice special effects. I like it. One thing I like about the Saw is the gory amputations and limb loss and all that stuff. It's always nice. I'm twisted. So yeah, Hoffman survives, Strom is dead, 2 of the 5 survivors are alive, and everyone now believes that Strom is the apprentice and Hoffman is free and no one suspects him. And that's the plot. Now, good things about Saw 5. As I said, there is a fantastic scene between Jigsaw and Hoffman, which, I forget how good it is until every time I watch the movie, and then I watch that scene and I go, this scene is fan-frickin-tastic. Whenever Tobin Bell is on screen, it just blows your mind. He's not in this film a whole lot. He's a corpse at the beginning, and his voice is played on the tapes. And you have there's a tape that Jill gets. That's one thing I forgot about the plot. His wife, now that he is dead, inherits something he left for her, which is a big box and a tape where he basically says, I still love you. I will always love you. You've always been in my heart. But I trust the contents of this box will be safe with you. That's all we get. That's all we get. We'll find out what's in the box in the next movie. But that one scene is fantastic. And the duo scene between him and Hoffman is just, it's mind-blowing. Transitions, there isn't that many noticeable transitions. Saw 4 had a lot more noticeable ones where they were done so artistically, you're like, they're beautiful. The only one I really remember from this one is the pendulum one, which is great, it's fantastic. I can't really think of any others as the saga goes along. This is another thing I kind of miss from the Saw films. I'm hoping Saw 7 has in it. But there are the ups. Now for the downs. As I said, the plot of Saw 5 is very much you have to know what's going on in the universe of Saw. That Strom suspects Hoffman, even though he doesn't really have any evidence. That Hoffman is the new apprentice. That the whole point of these Jigsaw killings and Hoffman losing all his comrades, this is a big deal because some of them have been around since the second film, but they're all dead now. It's very much does not feel like a movie you can jump into without knowing stuff before. Unlike 1 through 3, which you could kind of watch them as standalone as long as you understand that there's a guy called Jigsaw, has cancer, and he puts people in traps. And you can watch the first 3. 4 is almost a middle point where you could watch that one, kind of grasp what happened in the first 3, and then continue onwards. 5, 6 and 7 very much is lore heavy. Well, 5 and 6 is, 7 is its own mess. And you do kind of have to watch the previous ones to get what is going on, because they very much have them as big plot threads. Strom as a main character, he's fun. I wish they would have possibly introduced him a little earlier, or maybe had him in the next film and had this film more set up. But he's still decent enough. He's as good as having Rig in the 4th one as our main character, where I kind of care about them, but kind of not. We're confirmed in this film that Perez is dead. Okay, I didn't care. She was only in 1 film, really. I didn't care much for her. Yeah, there isn't that, apart from the scene with Hoffman and Saw and Pendulum, there isn't many, oh my god, Saw is fantastic at what he does moments. Acting is as good as Saw acting is. And yeah, it's okay. Pretty much from this movie onwards, the saga kind of goes downhill a bit. Whenever Toby Bell's on the screen, it kind of comes up. But then when he's not, it goes down again. But we'll talk about 6 and 7 in the week coming up, which is leading up to Jigsaw the next weekend. Or just after the weekend. Yikes. Not far now. So yeah, they're the goods and the bads. Rating, because I'm kind of doing this out of 5 and I'm doing it as a measurement against themselves, I'm going to give this one 4, 3.5 to 4. It's nowhere near as bad as 7, but 5 and 6 themselves I'm probably going to be giving similar ratings because they're good, they're fun, they have a few good Saw moments, but overall they're the least favourite of the films. As I said, the Amanda trilogy is fantastic, Saw 4 as a bridge is fantastic, and then the Hoffman trilogy, it's kind of good because you can understand about Hoffman and where he's coming from and everything, but I'm not as invested as I am with the Amanda trilogy. So yeah guys, that's what I think. That is the plot, the ups, the downs, and my rating. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit that like button. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. Because I'm coming to the end of this saga, I do want to continue these Let's Chat Abouts. So, in the comments, please write movies you would like me to chat about. If it's a movie I haven't seen, I will throw it on and I will do it kind of like a Rambo reaction, but I'll be doing it in this style. I'll talk about the plot, the goods and the bads, and give it a rating. If I've already seen the film, yay, means I'm pretty much there. Anyway guys, if you would, please subscribe. Always helps this channel. It means that we get noticed more and more. And I would like to say another big thank you to all. My Terminator timeline video, I will leave a link in the description to it. If you guys want to check it out if you haven't already. Hit 3,000 views. Wow. It's just wow. I love the fact you guys are enjoying that video so much. It's wow. It's fantastic. Until next video guys, I'll catch you all later. Bye!